Guys, what do the Cowboys do now? Terence Steele is lost for the season with a torn ACL in his left knee. I'm going to get into that and more. This was really, in my opinion, not a good game for the Dallas Cowboys versus the Texans. We were able to escape with a victory. However, we have a massive loss. We have a Pro Bowl right tackle in Terence Steele that is gone for the season. And being that position and having played the position previously myself, that is not an easy recovery. It'll be very smart and very deliberate in terms of how to deal with this issue. Terence Steele was on his way to definitely make a Pro Bowl. He probably still should get voted in to make a Pro Bowl for the right tackle position because that's how well he's played, not only as a run blocker, but also as a pass protector over these recent years, the last 2 seasons in particular, in terms of his performance. So, what do the Cowboys do? You have the option to start Josh Ball. That's option number 1. Josh Ball is a second-year player who has, in my opinion, not shown the consistency that you need in terms of his pass protection. And I really think it boils down to his strength level when he has to play against guys that can play with power and quickness. He does some good things in the run game. He's adequate, I think, there. But we are going to need to play action pass and in certain third down situations be able to throw the football down the field with 7 and 8 step drops, meaning that Dak Prescott is going to need at least 3 to 4 seconds to be able to set his feet, read the defense, and throw that football. And I'm not sure if down the stretch, and especially going into the playoffs, playing some of the better teams, that Josh Ball will be the solution long-term to that. Now, you could make modifications to the game plan. You could use the backs to block. You could use tight ends to chip if the Cowboys want to force Josh Ball to be in that position at this point, which I don't see any indication in the preseason that Josh Ball was ready to play that position, truth and transparency wise. Now, you do have a guy that played for the Pittsburgh Steelers last year, that came into the league out of TCU, that ran a 4.8, 4.7 40, that bench pressed 325 over 30 times, that had a good 3-cone drill, that played guard and tackle, and that played some right tackle for us, especially in the Denver game versus the Broncos in the preseason, Avante Collins. I think he's the steal on this team. I think he's a sleeper. I think he's a guy that could come in and start for you, and you would have the least amount of drop-off at that right tackle position. And he's a young guy. He doesn't have a lot of tread on his tire, which is a huge thing in this type of environment, especially looking at the amount of games now in the NFL season, with it being 17 games plus the playoffs, 4 extra games for 21 games if you make it to the Super Bowl, if you don't have a bye. So my contention is that Avante Collins will be the best immediate answer. I did a video on him earlier this year, and if you guys go back and check that out, there's a preponderance of evidence to show why Avante Collins may be the solution at the right tackle position. Now, of course, there are other options, and I'll talk about that too in this video here in a second. But if you look at balancing the strength of the offensive line, because right now, what do we have? We have pretty much Tyler Smith playing left tackle. You have Connor McGovern starting at guard. You have Tyler Biadasz starting at center. And then you have the great Zach Martin starting at right guard. And now you have Terence Steele out. Well, there has been a little bit of musical chair work, which I'll talk about in another video, how that hurt us in this last Texans game with the Cowboys. You have seen Jason Peters play a little bit of left guard and also left tackle. Well, based upon reports, we have Tyron Smith, the great Tyron Smith, coming back off of a torn hamstring this week. And hopefully, I pray, and I don't know where he is, but hopefully he's okay, he's ready to go. if he's ready to go, that's going to be a big boost to this offensive line, because now that gives you the ability to keep the strength on the left side while balancing, and I'm going to say have a good backup on the right side of that offensive line. Now, you know that you can start Connor McGovern at the left guard. Is he a better left guard than Tyler Smith? No, he's not. He's not better at the point of attack. He's not better power-wise in the run game, and I don't think he has a little bit more experience pass pro, but overall physical ability from the guard position, if you're going to start Tyron Smith back at the left tackle position, which Jerry Jones has indicated that that's the plan, well, then naturally you would probably bump Tyler Smith back to the left guard, and you have Connor Williams, right? You have Connor McGovern, as a backup at center and a backup at both guard positions. Avante Collins, in my opinion, should get the start at right tackle. If he doesn't, here are a few alternates. Some will throw out the idea, will just throw Tyler Smith at right tackle. And that's a possible solution. Do I think it's the best solution? No, because he's a rookie and he's taking all of his reps at the left side of the line. And I feel like he's going to need a couple games to get his feet wet. And those are a couple games that, in my opinion, that we don't have. We trail the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC East as we try to compete for a title. So to be honest, we don't have games to burn. And I think that you will get the most productivity out of him on the left side. Similar to Steele being forced to play left tackle last year when Smith was injured. All right, the starting left tackle when Smith was injured last season. It took Terence Steele a game or so to inoculate to that position, and after he did, he settled down and he played pretty well. But I would say you could avoid that by giving Collins to start. Now, another thought process to this is to start Jason Peters, and that's not a bad thought, but I think that Jason Peters is a guy that is still strong, but in terms of his footwork and suddenness and change of direction, if you had an elite speed rusher that could dip and rip and work to his outside shoulder, I think that might present Jason Peters some problems over the course of a game. Now, he was on the couch in East Texas somewhere. He deserves to be. He's had a great career. He's recently lost, 30 or so pounds, getting himself back into playing shape. But I'm not sure if he would be the solution for an entire game at the right tackle. Could he make it through if he had to? I think he could, but I'm not sure if he's the best option. I think that he's better as a backup in a rotational role at this point in his career, rather than putting the full-time starting responsibilities on that 40-year-old body and having him out there at the right tackle position. But it is an option. So, to me, you would have Josh Ball, which is, in my opinion, the worst option. You would have a Tyler Smith, which is a good option, but not the best option because of where he's played all year. You would have a Jason Peters option, which could be an option for a while, but I'm not sure how he's going to hold up the whole remainder of the game. And then you have the Avante Collins, which is the younger, fresher guy that can come in and do a great job. So I want you guys to let me know your comments in the video below. Let me know exactly what you think. How do you feel about this situation? Who should get the start? What should the Cowboys do? Inquiring minds want to know. So I gave you my thoughts. Also, don't forget to follow Boss Cowboy Sports on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can follow me, the OC100, on Twitter. And until next time, salute.